Welcome back to the Shipyard. Today we are taking a look at Wave 19's Delta Flyer. It is a shuttlecraft, so if you're not familiar with the rules on shuttles, go ahead and pause the video here as I put up the image. But moving on, we've got a 3-2-2-3 for 20 points. The ship can evade, target lock, and scan. No battle stations this time. We get 2 crew, 1 weapon, 1 tech. Pretty good slots there. For a named ability, you may deploy weapon upgrades with a cost of 4 SP or less to this ship instead of the normal 3. And you may fire your primary weapon from your rear firing arc at -1 attack die. So not bad to get a rear shot for 2 attack die. That's kind of a nice ability. The generic loses a shield, loses a crew slot, but it keeps the text that you can deploy weapon upgrades with a cost of 4 SP or less to this ship. So that's kind of nice, right? You can run the not quite as good photon torpedoes, but that still gets you to 4 attack dice with conversion. So that's a good thing. You do get 90-90 arcs here. You've got 1 and 2 come abouts. Basically, you've got the whole 1 and 2 slots on the dial. You've got 3 straight and bank. You've got 6 green maneuvers. This thing is super agile, no red on the dial whatsoever, which makes it insanely maneuverable. And that makes it an awesome ship for being able to pull things off. This is a ship that I don't even feel the need to dock as a shuttle. This is something I want to use as an actual fighter ship. Yeah, 5 durability is a little weird. I feel a little squishy with it, but it's got 2 agility and 2 crew slots, so I can bring on like Hood Riker and maybe Shelby or Paris just to bring that up a bit, and then I've got something. So I consider the Delta Flyer something that's going to have a lot of use here. We do get 2 captains in this pack. We get Tom Paris, skill 4, unique, 2 points. If you reveal a 3 straight maneuver, you may perform a 4 straight instead. If you do so, place an auxiliary power token beside your ship. If this card is assigned to a shuttlecraft, you cannot perform a docking action on the round you use this ability. It's okay, right? It's going to help out shuttles because now they can go faster. But Paris isn't the card that I'm going, oh yeah, this is the guy I want piloting my shuttle. I would have liked something where he could do an extra move. That would have been more thematic to me, where he could dart and then dart again. Like, that would have been really cool. Still though, somewhat useful, we'll take it. The other captain is Tuvok, skill 5, 3 points unique. Add 1 tech slot upgrade to your upgrade bar. That upgrade costs 1 less point. Going to be somewhat useful on the Delta Flyer, but also has some use when you start putting him on other ships, especially Federation ships. Because there's almost always a ship where you're going, okay, I could use a tech slot here, and I might as well get my tech slot to cost 1 less point, right? He is Eric Motts, except now you've got a skill 5 captain, and you don't lose a crew slot. Now, maybe you'd rather use a crew slot to get a tech slot, and that's fine. That's going to depend on your ship and the build that you're taking. But I can see Tuvok working. He's not always going to come into play, but there's a time and a place for him. So I don't consider Tuvok a write-off. Now I'm going to warn you, I do not like the crew in this pack, and you're going to see why. Up first we have Harry Kim. He's unique, 3 points. Action, disable this card to place 2 evade tokens beside your ship. You cannot roll any defense dice this round. You cannot perform an evade action this round, even as a free action. Here's my problem. Starter data does it better. Starter data says, action, place 2 evade tokens beside your ship. Roll 2 less attack dice this round. So, data is not a disable. He doesn't cost you your defense dice, so data works in conjunction with the notion of defending, and it's just better. Harry works in 1 set of circumstances. Magnemetric guided charges. That's it. Anything that makes you not roll defense dice. I guess he would work on a Borg ship. But he's a double action once you get rolling. He's an action to re-enable, and then he's an action to actually activate. So you either have to run like the Phlox-Beverly combo, or you have to run Martok 8 on a friendly ship to keep him rolling. And that's too much of a strain for this ability. It's just not worth it. So, Harry Kim, not worth it. I gave you the use, so if your meta is dominated by magnemetric guided charges, there you go. Next crew, Ballanators, 4 points. When defending, during the compare results step, you may disable this card and one of your active shields to cancel one hit or crit. It's playable. It starts to get into the world of attack cancellation, or rather damage mitigation, and I like that. I like where this is headed. I think 4 points is still too expensive, but I like the steps. I like the start of it, and I think the Ballana is the right idea. So this is the one crew that I actually do like, and I think that there's something there. 7 of 9, 4-point crew. Unique. During the activation phase, you may disable this card to perform a battle stations action as a free action. Great. Love the text. 4 points is too much. At least it's free, and it works, and you can just spend your action to re-enable her. But here's the problem. Almost every single Federation ship has battle stations. So her best use is cross-faction, and then it's 5 points. Yes, I know you can put her on the Delta Flyer, and that's a valid point. But at that point, you're so vulnerable to attacks. I think the Delta Flyer needs to focus on movement and focus on not being in arcs. If you're being forced every single turn to re-enabling 7 to get battle stations for any kind of quality, I think you're in trouble. 7 just is too expensive, and I can't fully support that. Alright, weapons. We get 2. We get photon torpedoes, 4 cost, 5 dice, range 2 to 3. Spend your target lock, place 3 time tokens. If fired from a shuttlecraft, discard this card instead, and only range 1 to 2. But they're forward and rear arc. So, I like it. I like the caveat. Yeah, it sucks that it's a discard, but it's a nice card to give that shuttle or the Delta Flyer that extra boost. They're playable. And that's something that I don't normally say about photon torpedoes. Yeah, there's no quality, and that's a bummer. So, really, this is only good on the Delta Flyer in combination with 7 of 9, because you will have that battle station. But it's still kind of a tough sell. The other weapon is photonic missiles. 3 points, 3 attack dice, range 1 to 2. Spend your target lock, place 3 time tokens on this card. If it hits, in addition to normal damage, place an auxiliary power token beside the defending ship. And you can fire from your forward or rear arc. Now, this is pretty good. The only downside here is 3 attack dice, so you're not guaranteed to hit. I like that you're getting an auxiliary power token placement on your opponent. That's a good thing. But I don't like that you don't get any extra dice than your primary weapon unless you're firing from your rear arc. That to me is a tough sell. And range 1 to 2 is limited. It's just like, this is a card that should cost 2 points, or maybe even 1 point, not 3. And maybe I'm being too critical, but I think, like, if this card wants to be playable, it needed to be cheaper. That being said, I think you can utilize it, especially if you go cross-factioning with Sakona, get it for 2 points less. It's there, it'll work. Alright, the tech. This is what I love. We'll start with the cheap, we'll work our way up. Parametric hull plating, 2 points, non-unique. During the compare results step, you may discard this card to cancel 1 hit or crit result. This upgrade costs plus 3 points for any non-Federation ship, and no ship can have more than 1. Alright, cool. 2 points for essentially an extra durability. Awesome. Plain, simple, works effectively. You get to choose what you cancel. I love it. This essentially cancels a crit, and that makes it even better than a shield. Perfect card. Immersion shielding, 3 points. Add +1 to your ship's shield value. In addition, you may reroll the attack die when your ship overlaps an obstacle. This upgrade costs +3 points for any non-Federation ship. No ship can have more than 1. Sure, 2 points for a shield, 1 point for an extra ability. Perfectly costed. We'll take it and we'll run to the bank. Immersion shielding, really cool card. Obstacles don't exist all the time, but I like this card. I think it's thematic with the Delta Flyer. I think it's going to work well. I like it on a lot of Federation ships. It's the one thing that has me considering getting multiple Delta Flyer packs, because this is non-unique, and I would like to own multiples. Now, The last tech, and the last card in this pack, is Unimatrix Shielding. 5 points. Add +2 to your ship's shield value. When defending against an attack from a Borg ship, you may disable up to 2 of your active shields to cancel an equal number of hit or crit results. This upgrade costs +5 for any non-Federation ship. No ship can have more than 1. Alright, so now you're disabling 2 to cancel 2. And disabling 2 is better than destroying 2. That's a really good combo. Even if this card only gives you +2 shields, it's still worth the 5 points. You run this in conjunction with multi-adaptive shields, and you're in a very good place. You figure out a way to get 3 tech slots, you run Unimatrix Shielding, Immersion Shielding, and multi-adaptive shielding. You're in an even better spot. So yeah, it's weird to me that Fed are getting all the cool tech toys. I really wish other factions would get them, but it's there. You're silly if you're not at least looking at them and going, I wonder what would work. Unimatrix Shielding is a great answer to Magnemetric Guided Charge, because that thing's rolling 3-4 dice. If they have built-in boosts, you can cancel 2 of them with the Unimatrix Shielding. That's going to slow it down pretty well. I think it's going to be a card that's going to last a long time. You need things that just give you bonuses that don't always depend on defense dice. So that is why these cards are better. These cards make the Equinox insanely better. And it makes me worried that the design team isn't fully considering how new cards impact older things in the game. Or they really are, and they're doing this as service to those older cards. I hope that it's the second thing, but I fear it's the first. I don't know. I don't have that insider information. Still, I love what's in the Delta Flyer pack. I currently have 1. I'm debating if I should get a second one. So if anyone has any thoughts on if I should get a second one, let me know in the comments. And thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for liking and subscribing. And don't forget to check out the other videos on the Shipyard. And until next time, we'll see you around the Shipyard. Take care, guys.